Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Today I'll be reviewing my fourth and final round game from the first Great Lakes Go tournament. If you did not see my last game, which I'm calling my craziest tournament game I've ever played. Again, if you haven't seen it, I would go back and watch it. But I did end up winning that game, so right now in the tournament I am 2-1, which whenever you win, depending on how many rounds it is, whenever you win that round that allows you to, at worst place, have an even record, I was like, it was a big sigh of relief. Like, okay, the worst I can do is break even, which again, it's a goal that I set for myself at tournaments. Just try to break even or better. Can't always do that, but it's nice when it does happen. But yeah, so going into this game, 2-1. In the final round, I played Eric Yoder 6-don, who so far in this tournament is actually 1-2. So because of that, the program that I used to pair games had us play a 1-stone game. So there's no 6.5 Komi. There's only a half-point Komi, which may or may not come into play. We'll see. But yeah, without further ado, let's just jump right in and look at this game, because this game maybe not as crazy as the last round game, but it has a lot of excitement in it as well. But yeah, my opponent is black, I am white. Approach, back off, attach. This is all Joseki, and then black stands up. At this stage, you have kind of two options as black here. This is one of the cases where Tenuking is not an option actually, so you want to play locally here. The two options are this extension. You might think, why would you extend just one? Why normally wouldn't you extend two? Yes, that is normally the case, but if white's able to just push here in Sente and you have to back off, then you have a very low position, whereas when you extend this one, now when white pushes, you're able to block. So it just means you don't get pushed down as much. Or in the game, as black does, black stands up. And while this does leave some more Aji at the N18 peep, it does put more pressure on the white stones here because you are taking away liberty. And so liberties are everything. And so taking away this liberty could put extra pressure on this white group later down the line. I approach though. Again, this makes sense. I was always taught, again, I think AIs say it's not, as set in stone now or as important. But I was always taught as I was getting better that if you're able to approach a 3-4 from one of your stones, that should be highest priority. And so that's why I approached here. Black attaches. We get this Joseki. And then here, because I have the Q4 stone, I actually play off of it. And this is helping my lower left 3 stones, but it's prioritizing the corner. As opposed to playing a standard Joseki move if you're just considering the lower left corner, this still leaves some Aji in this area here. It still leaves, obviously, some space here. And then there's still a 3-3 invasion here. So what it means is this K4 stone can, not always, but can become inefficient if I have to protect these spaces as well. So instead, I try to build it as big as possible so that I don't have to play a stone in the middle, is the idea. Black finishes off the final 3-4, and then I jump here. Again, I'm trying not to play a stone in the middle here, but black says, okay, let me come in. And even though it is a large knight that black is shoulder hitting, it is still okay to do this. I stand up. And again, I think I should just break the shape. Yeah, I think I should just break the shape. In the game, I play here, and even if I wanted this move, if I play here, black will probably play some move to fix the shape, and then I can still shoulder hit. My 3 stones are a lot more solid than the 2 stones I had in the game, as we'll see. So I think I should just stand up. When black ignores the shoulder hit, and by the way, this is the whole idea with this move, is I'm looking to shoulder hit here at D7. When black plays here, yes, I'm able to peep here, and then I slide, but these 2 stones are much weaker than in this variation here. So, yeah. Even if black gets to add another stone on the bottom, that's fine. My three stones are solid. But in the game, play there, and then slide. Black attached, and this was the first really surprising move. Just because in my mind, I would want to do something about the 4 stones, but maybe you don't want to do something with the 4 stones because as long as you don't get attacked severely, you're not going to make a lot of points with them anyways. So going into the corner, I guess in that sense, does make sense. And I think going for the outside also makes sense. Again, it is possible to play something like this and just connect and allow black to maybe play something here or maybe something like this. But in the spirit of let me keep these 4 stones weak, I go here. And then I play, going back, this is maybe my most regretted move of the game, is playing down here. There's just no reason to do this. I should just connect here, as you'll see in a second. It's just much better shape when I don't leave a weakness there. So, yeah. And you'll see what happens in the game, that this cut basically immediately becomes a problem for me. Slide. Because I cap here, which again, I think is okay, but when there's the cut here, yeah, it's just very ugly for white now. And again, a lot of these scenarios here could have been avoided if initially I had just broken the shape here, if I just took the corner, and if I had just fixed my cut here. A lot of my shape problems would not exist. So then cuts. Yeah, and again, there's a lot I can show as white potentials, but basically a lot of this is going to, if I try to save everything, that is, a lot of variations are going to collapse for white. So, yeah, because if I extend here, black extends, and these 2 stones are going to die. We have a pinwheel here, so I have to play a move like this. Whether black pushes or tries to play lightly here, the crux of the position is I have to play something on the right side, and then black's able to push here. And again, my shape is terrible. It's terrible. I can't even block because of this. It's a strange move. You normally don't play this kind of move, but yeah, this kind of move does work in this scenario. But again, maybe I have to fight this. I have to make S5 make sense. And so if I were to just give it up, then it doesn't make any sense. Otherwise, I should just fix my shape somehow. Because again, the whole idea with S5 is I'm putting pressure on the group, the lower right group. So if I just Hane here, the question is there Aji in the corner? And there is. There is Aji in the corner. Black needs to add a move in the corner, otherwise black is going to die. So, yeah. I don't even get the use out of the S5 stone, basically. So black cuts. I Hane, which again, this is a nice local move, where if black Hanes, then I get to Atari, as opposed to Atarying directly. I didn't force black to add a stone at 06, whereas if I went here and then did it, you can see I kind of forced black to add a stone that doesn't really help them that much. But black just extends, makes like the pinwheel shape. I have to extend, and then black plays here, and then I jump. So, yeah, I just give up, as opposed to, again, I could have connected at Q5, but instead, even if black had just gone here, like, I've lost a huge corner, and there's still Aji in the bottom. Like, I still need to add a stone to complete the bottom side. So, yeah, I thought black might play a move around R8. Because later, if, like, let's say I do add a move to finish this off, black can play reduction moves like this, which are very painful. Which are very, very painful. So, and even if the bottom side is big, it's all white has. So, yeah. But I think black can also play this way and try to make it live. And I play here, yes. This is kind of the only move. Again, I can't just let black live if something like this were to happen. Yeah, because again, I lost the lower right corner. And so if I don't get anything out of these stones here, they would just be dame. So I have to attack. which this at least does create cuts in black's shape. And black plays a very nice move of simply just playing the Goblin's Nose. This is a move that keeps white's liberties low. So, yeah, so play there. And then black cuts. And I think even here, if black had just treated things lightly, like if black had played here, yeah, I don't think black needs kind of the big home run that black might be looking for. Like even if Atari... Yeah, even if Atari and connect, maybe... Basically, you'll see what happens is black gets separated in the game. Whereas if black plays something like this, you know, black would at least be able to keep the main stones alive. And yeah, this would still be pretty... It's hard to say. It's hard to say. Black isn't really gaining much with this, and black's shape is pretty bad. So, like, cutting instinctually makes sense, but when white Ataris and then cuts here, yeah, black now has some problems in black shape. So, yeah, black turns, stand up, peep, and then pushes again. And I'm trying to remember when. So, the time settings for these games, as a reminder, were 30-minute main time with 3 30-second Byoyomi periods. And up to this point, I believe it was, like, we were moving at we weren't blitzing, but, you know, we were playing at a reasonable pace, maybe no more than 50 seconds per move. But at this moment, I forget the exact amount, but my opponent spent, I want to say, like 15 to 20 minutes on this move. Somewhere, it was one of these moves in this area here. And again, it is an important position in the game, as I always tell my students, like, you should spend more time in the middle game than in the opening, because games usually aren't lost in the opening, whereas games can be lost in the middle game. So, like, I totally get that, but I was just surprised by the length of time here. Because I remember, like, after this kind of moment in the game, my opponent had, like, down to, like, 5 minutes left of main time, and we're only at, move 50? So, yeah, I was definitely shocked by that. And I believe it was right here. So then black peeped and then pushed up again. And I have not a dilemma, but like I have a problem here. Or again, not even a problem, but I would like to be able to stand up here. And because if I don't stand up there and I can go here, black gets this Atari here, which is pretty big. Right, I have to connect, and then black can capture. So I'd like to be able to go here. And if black stands up, again, then am I able to play here? And now if black plays this cut, the stones don't get captured, and those 3 stones are much weaker than my 4 stones. So I'd like to be able to go here. But in my mind, I was like, okay, well, black will fix. And then when I turn, black's going to be able to make an eye here somehow. Like this. And I didn't like this result. I did not like this result, per se. Even though I do have big thickness, if you look where the thickness is facing, I didn't really get much. Like, I don't have anything to attack. Black has a high Shimari in the upper left. So I even have a cut here. Yeah, and again, maybe there's maybe other potential moves that I could play here. But all I saw during the game was just the turn. And again, maybe I can stand up, but it'll be a similar position anyways, where there's a weakness there. So, yeah. So in the game, I decided to just take, or cut these stones off. Cut, play there. And again, well, so earlier I said my biggest regret of the game was S5, and that might be true, maybe for the opening, but my second biggest regret for the game was playing here. And this is where my own kind of it's not a mnemonic device, but one of my what's the term? It's at the tip of my tongue. What is it? Like one of my almost like cheat sheet, or like one of the rules I follow by, one of the proverbs I follow by is if you're gonna play a move, you really want to try your best to get the follow-ups. So when I played the shoulder hit here, I'm already thinking like, okay, I really want C7. And so I felt at this moment I had time to, because black is cut off, and I felt the fight had died down. And while I did know of what was going to happen in the game somewhat, like I knew there was Aji, what black's about to do, I felt like, okay, c7 feels pretty big, but in reality, c7 is actually quite small. If this damaged the corner enough to put it in peril, this move would be big. Or this move would be important. But by itself, it doesn't put any extra pressure in the lower left. Like, you might have some good endgame now, but besides that, it's not big. It's not important. And so here, I should just play this move. This move prevents what black's about to do and still puts pressure on the white stones, or the black stones in the center. And the key is, if black plays something on the left side, it's not big. The left side is actually quite small, because I've already played the shoulder hit at d7. So, yeah. So when I block here, black pushes and cuts. And for the weaker players that are watching this video, you might be wondering, well, why is black pushing and cutting when black is dead on the bottom side, right? Black is adding more dead stones to stones that, or adding more dead stones, and therefore giving white more points, right? But what black is doing here is black is almost putting white in a stranglehold, where now white is going to have to capture these stones, otherwise white themselves will be captured. And so as we see, Atari and Hane, White has very few liberties, and now will, unless white is able to come out, is going to get squeezed. And black's going to be able to make thickness towards the top. And again, I think there's better moves here potentially for me. I think a move here, well, no, this move would not be better. There's leaves a ko. There's potential. I think what I did was okay, but you'll see it's just, like, the fact I have to make this exchange is just really bad, right? And yeah, and I stood up, and again, I could have played a move in this direction, because I do have the ladder. So I think this is a case I should play here. But this would mean either black gets a ladder breaker, right? Attack this group, or we'll be able to squeeze like this, which is very, very painful, right? So, yeah, I think I should play here, though. And if black does play the ladder breaker, whatever happens with this group, maybe I can get something in return by attacking this group, because as you can see, this group is pretty weak as well. So I think I should just play this knight's move here. But I stand up, play here, black stands up, black jumps, I jump, black plays there, and then bamboo join. So notice, even though black gave up an extra stone here, it's just one extra stone, and in these exchanges, I have made no points, and black has made huge thickness on the top. Yeah, even pushes once more, in exchange for me playing c7. So again, I could have played here. By playing here, black doesn't get that huge thickness facing the top. And so, yeah, this is a great example of important moves before big moves. This move might be big, and even that's questionable. But this move might be big, but it's not important. So, yeah. Look at this. Jump. And now it's time for me to do something in the top side. At least that's what I felt. Now, again, I think, because black does need to live at some point. Again, if I'm able to get this kind of move, like black has some problems. But I didn't think the timing was right. But that's something that is on my radar. This group does need to still live. So I come in like this. And the idea with, it seems like a pretty casual move, considering I'm playing in an area that is like completely surrounded with black stones. But the idea is, I'm looking at, while black does have this thickness from the center, I'm looking at very specific spots in black's shape. So for example, if black plays this way, what looks like a nice move for white to get on top? Well, obviously this kind of peep. And if black has to answer, and I'm able to play whether a move like this or like this, make a base somehow, right? not only does black have to make sure I don't make two eyes, but now the upper right has to live as well. And if black plays this way, which black does in the game, I'm able to get some extension. Now, I think the extension is, again, possible, but this was a moment I definitely was thinking too one-dimensionally, as in I was only thinking of one option. I should really consider more options. So, for example, maybe I can play here. Maybe I can attach. Maybe I can even play this move. This is a move I've been seeing sometimes when I watch stronger player games. It's playing this kind of armpit hit under the stone there. So I think there's other options for me. Again, I don't think this move was necessarily bad, but it was, in the moment, I knew I definitely played too quickly. And black plays here. Attach. Again, these are all techniques that you want to, if you find yourself giving your opponent moils or just wanting to know how to handle moils, these are good techniques you want to know. You want to give your stone that's invading in comfortable space to make at least some sort of base, and you want to look for attachments. Black bumps, and then if conversely, if your opponent keeps invading you and you don't know how to handle it, this is another very good example of playing here. A lot of players might think to cut here, but the problem with cutting is, one, if you kill everything, then it doesn't matter if white connects, because white's dead anyways. And by cutting, you're actually giving white more opportunity to live. Because, again, in this case, if white just connects and is able to die, or ends up dying, then it doesn't matter that white connected. So if white's going to die in the other variation and you cut here, white is fine with anything living. If just two of white stones live, that's better than all of white stones dying. So cutting here gives white a lot of sente moves. That means, oh, maybe I can play here. Maybe I can play here. A move here is sente, right? A lot of these moves are now sente because you've attached or cut here. So for example, what if white hanes here? Or cuts across here? Again, this is how you want to cut a knight's move. What if black plays here? Notice black's unable to cut here. Because if you cut here, there's a double Atari. And this is just a very basic example of this. So that means, okay, I can't play that. I'm going to have to play something different. But if you're gone here, then there's no real issues there. You still have time to cut if you wanted to. So, yeah, this is a very nice placement. Again, put yourself in white shoes. If black does something else, where would you play as white? This would be the move white would want to play. It's a dog face into a tripod shape here. So, yeah, your opponent's key move is my key move. So it's very smart for black not to cut. But that I still get this hane. And then I cut. Because maybe later if I end up dying everywhere, black would just give this up. So I was like, okay, let me cut now. And then here, I believe right here. So earlier, black had spent like 10 to 15 minutes on a move, but this is where I spent myself like 10 minutes on the move because there's a lot of variations here that are almost working. Where, okay, maybe I can double hane, or maybe I should cut first and then Atari. And then whether I do this first or just a double hane, well, then do I cut here? Do I double hane here? Do I cut here? And all these variations basically end up depending on a ladder, which this ladder, black's able to end up being okay. And after the game, I remember Eric enlightened me and said that there was potential if I had, what was the variation? I think hane, and then if I think double hane. Yeah, I think at this stage, there's some snapback co-potential in this variation here, where if black were to cut here, black can't connect because snapback. So if black has to do this, then white's able to take. It's something like this. But I think he recommended the double hane, basically. Yeah. So, yeah, I didn't see that though. At least I didn't read it well enough, I guess. So I attached here. Again, if I can't live locally, then I don't want to make exchanges like this, because if I can't live, then obviously everything dies. So I at least attach here. Black hits the shape. I hane. Black just Ataris. And then I play a light move here. Black covers, attach. And so I said, okay, I got to reduce a little bit, so let me just attach and go elsewhere. And besides maybe this Atari here that black got, I didn't really lose much up top because it was black's anyways. So attach, black jumps here. I peep. Yes, now I'm going after these stones. Black finds a very nice combination here of wedging here. And yeah, this is such a good like shape recognition. Shape recognition, but also order of moves. Yeah, very good order of moves as well. And black's able to just connect, actually. Black is just connected like this. So, yeah, but I got what I wanted, which was some thickness facing this side. I do wonder, though, if I'm able to push here first. But again, I think if black just, like, pushes here, yeah, then this becomes Sente, and then, yeah, it would mean I would have to play here, and then black's able to run out. Which, and even if I play here, black can still live anytime. So I'd like to go there, but yeah, just connect. My main goal was to be able to just cut here. I have a little more thickness here, so let me cut. Hane and connect. There's a cut here, so black fixes. And again, in normal cases, this is how you want to fix this tiger's mouth, but this move also hits white's cut here. So I have to fix. I have to fix again. And then black Hanes. And this is setting up a ko here. So I have to cut. Black Ataris once. And then we have this ko here. Black pushes. Yes, I basically need those stones to live. And then play up. And then I Atari'd here. And I thought this Atari was like gonna be Sente. And then, but then when black took, I was like, oh, yeah, I guess I'm not really... Like, I saved those stones, but black took the entire left side in the process. So I really should try to find something better, I think. Yeah, because again, I have potential to play moves up top, like this cut here. Right? Yeah. Like, moves like this are very big. And even if black gets to take the entire upper left, if I can save the top stones, then... Yeah, and again, I don't need to worry about my group here because these stones on the bottom are dead. So, and you might think there is a local threat here, but this would be like a minus local threat because, you know, if black plays another ko-threat... Now if I lose the ko, black is now... Black shape is a lot better now, where, as you'll see, because black only captured 3 stones, I'm able to, when I end up getting this move later, black has to fill. So it's when I add the extra stone as a local threat, it makes black's shape bigger. It makes black's eye shape better. So, yeah. So play there. And then I save this. Yes, this is pretty big, but I have two openings, so I just kind of have to bite the bullet. Push and then slide. I just covered here, Atari, and then black covers. Black plays here, or then I'm able to take, and again, hindsight's 20/20, but black really just need to fix like this. The reasoning is this doesn't actually work to connect. So black's okay, but when black extended here, I was able to wedge here and then cut. So, yeah, and this is dangerous. This is very dangerous. So, yeah, black takes the ko. We have another ko, of course. And now, as I was saying, there's Aji here. Black pushes. And again, the thing here is I can just answer this. Again, I actually have a lot of threats on this board. Because this is a complete flower ko for white. I don't really lose much if I lose this. And if I'm able to connect this whole right side, that's pretty big. But like, for example, I can threaten this whole group here. I can threaten this bottom right group here. There's, again, the Aji up top that I can use. So I should just answer. I should just answer. Yeah, like it's hard for black to answer moves like this when black is, dying in the lower left. And it's big enough to, even if I lose some points in this corner, to play these kind of very aggressive, or not even aggressive, just these co-threats here. So, yeah, I think I should just block and keep fighting the cone. Again, in the lower left, there's also, or the lower right, I mean, there's also threats with moves like this. Like this threatens to kill the lower left or the lower right. So, yeah, I messed up with this cone. Again, I think we're both in Byoyomi, and Byoyomi is difficult. But, like, I either need to do this, or I need to just fight this ko. I need to just Atari this, or maybe Atari this way, and just fight this ko outright. Because capturing these 3 stones would be nice, but also the real reason why I need to is when I connect here, black Ataris first, which again, and now the 3 stones are even smaller, but the real reason that's bad is when I Atari here, black can make a ko. And so I have to win another ko in order to save the group now. So yeah, even if I'm able to capture, then there's no ko, but also I should find timing to Atari here as well. Because now black can't make a ko. Black didn't get this exchange H13 for this. And the reason why black doesn't want to make that exchange while fighting the ko, like you might think, again, kind of like over here where there might have looked like a local threat for white. The reason why black doesn't want to make that threat, like let's say play there, like the reason why black doesn't want to go here is now when black takes, I can still play here now. Because again, the threat isn't like here. Like I'm threatening to save or pull out the stone here. But now, if black wins the ko, black can't capture anything. So again, let's say I make a ko threat. Black can't capture at G14 now. Black has to play a move like this. Whereas again, if like black goes here, I answer. If black's able to win the ko like here, black's able to capture here and then even capture the H14 stone. So that's why black didn't want to make that exchange. But once I finished the ko, then black was like, okay, well now, since I can't capture ever, now I can Atari. So now I had to win another ko. So yeah, I had a chance here if I had just blocked. If I just blocked like this. I went there, have to win this other ko. Because now black splits through, which isn't just big on points, but now threatens the life of the upper right. So play there. I slide here. Push through, yes, it's a threat. Extend back, black goes there. Black pushes, and again here, I can play here, which what's about to happen in the game is prevented. Now, again, this might be a case where black would have just played differently because I played here. But if I played here, this fixes everything that's about to happen in the lower right. But again, I think black's a strong enough player that black probably knew this anyways. And so black would have just answered somehow. Maybe just like this or something. And you'll see what I mean in a second. But when I play here, I play this one. And if black blocks, then I'm actually able to kill this group. So black goes here. And I was looking, I was like, wait a second. That's not an alive group. I can play here. And then black plays here. Yeah, squeeze. And then plays here. And I'm like, oh, okay. Now I see it, right? Where if I have to take this eye out, but I don't have enough time to save my stones. Because then I get captured. But I could have gone here. And again, if black had taken, then black would have died. Because if black does the same exact thing, now I can play here. Because if black takes away liberties, my stone is now fixing this push and cut. So, yeah. Yeah, what's interesting here, though, is I wonder if I'm able to play here as well. Yeah. Is this possible, though? I wonder if this is possible, right? If black connects, then I'm able to go here. And that's an alive shape. So I think even here, maybe it's possible to go here. I didn't even consider this in the game. Yeah, Go is so tricky when you have time trouble, isn't it? Because we're both probably on our last Byoyomis at this point. And not only that, this is also, we're getting to the moment where, kind of like when we played earlier this year, Eric and I, in the final round, our games, for some reason, always take a long time. And in both scenarios, we were the last games being played. And earlier this year when we played, the award ceremony was happening while we were still playing. And the only reason why the award ceremony wasn't happening in this game is because I was the one directing the tournament. So it was on me to do the ceremony. But yeah, what that means is, though, most of the players that were still there waiting for the tournament to officially conclude were watching this game. So there was about like 10 people surrounding us, and we were low on the clock, and it was just a very exhilarating experience. But also made it high pressure too. So yeah. So Hane right there, yes. Sente right there, yes, got a fix. And Black just says, okay, I'm just gonna cover. So I save there and then play there. Black goes here. This is a kind of interesting timing move, where if I had played here, Black was going to Atari. And if I had gone here, Black was going to Atari. But I can simply descend. But yeah, Black got there. And yeah, now we're kind of in just endgame now. And so basically what it comes down to is that Ko was White's final chance in this game. It is a relatively close game, all things considered. But yeah, what the worst part about this is right here. Again, think of everything I just told you about, the tournament, this being the last game. I'm the tournament director. In fact, the venue was closing as well, so I was like, that was in the back of my mind. With that in mind, though, I stopped recording the game here just to simply focus on the game, not waste any time putting in moves. And frankly, I at one point just forgot to keep taking moves, so that's on me. I like to have my games fully recorded. Just for my sake, I like the historical aspect of it, like having the full games recorded. But in this case, this was as far as I got. Nothing else really happened that was that interesting. So, at least I got the main interesting points of this game. And the end result was, I believe, Black by 5.5. Yeah, Black by 5.5. So, yeah, another game I'm overall happy with Eric, but another loss, I believe, that makes me lifetime in-person tournaments like 0-5 or something like that. But every time I'm getting closer. So maybe next time I can swing the record in my favor, or start to at least. Because all the way back in 2015 was my first game I ever played with Eric at the Go Congress, the Boston Go Congress. So yeah, it's been a decade since then, which is crazy to say out loud. But yeah, that meant I ended this tournament after this loss at 2-2, which again I was happy with. Breaking even. And so yeah, it was actually really funny about this tournament. This tournament must have been like a bloodbath because I believe there were 16 players, and some players had to leave early, which happens, or some people took buys. But I believe there were 2 people that were 3-1, which were the best records. There were no undefeated people, and then there were like 11 2-2 people, which I've never seen before in any tournament. So I guess the software I was using to pair games did a good job pairing people, I guess, because yeah, we all played at our strength because we all ended at 2-2. So that meant okay, then 2-2 means you're playing at your level. So, but yeah, super fun event. This was the first iteration of this tournament. So I'm happy. I was happy with how it went, and I'm happy with the venue as well, and I'll be happy if we do another one in the spring sometime. But yeah, that's it for this game and this tournament. If you have any questions about it, please let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you all in the next video.